I love coming out here. The Big Dam Bridge in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Well, it's Little Rock and North Little Rock, but I'm on the North Little Rock side. And it's just beautiful. It's where my husband and me actually met, was on this bridge. So, a lot of history here, even before I met my husband. What I wanted to talk about today, temperament, and how something I never would have even imagined or thought about prior to trying to change my anger issue, my quick to anger temperament, a little salty, a little acidy. I've always been that way. It just kind of grew into me as a defense mechanism when I was a teenager. You know, like a lot of teenage girls who set out on their own when they shouldn't, like me, when I ran away at 13. You run into a lot of people who want to abuse and use you, and who are just very unkind and don't care about you. So that definitely grew around me significantly. Like it grasped me and held on for my whole adult life. And when I gave my life over to Christ, I wanted to, and I'm still actively doing that, change so much about myself. Some things have been so much easier than I thought they would be, like giving up all of my secular interests and hobbies and focusing only on Christian themed fiction, for example. But also, I've talked a lot about this, about wanting to mend my personality. I'm hesitant to use the word change, simply because a lot of people might assume that, you know, you become a Christian and you have to change everything about yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they view the word in a negative way. They look at it as something that you're being forced to do. You're changing your entire personality. You're becoming someone different. In every sense of that word, you are changing your personality and becoming someone different, but it's definitely not forced, and it's not a manipulation by someone else. It is nothing like that. It's just that when you come to Christ, you naturally want to be different. You want to be better than the person that you were. You want to fix all of the problems that you had, all of the things that made you the angry, bitter, acidy and salty kind of person that you might have been before. All of those personality traits that are considered negative, judgmental, too outspoken, just there's so many. This is such a long list of things that we can be, and personality traits that we take on, as, for instance, like as a defense mechanism in my case. And others are just you're too bold, you're vulgar. I was all of these things, and I'm not proud of it. I look back on my life and see how detrimental that was to me, to my life, to my progression, to getting ahead, to becoming someone better. And so back to the point is that I never thought that becoming different, that changing your life and looking at things from a different viewpoint, from a Christian viewpoint. When you look at young women, or middle-aged or older, it doesn't really matter what age you are, who are Christian and who act like they're Christian, you notice something about them that you secretly admire. You may have even admired it long time ago, before you ever even considered changing your personality, or wanting to be a better person. And that is a genuine Christian woman is often soft-spoken, kind-hearted, does not take offense to almost anything. I mean, everybody gets offended every now and then. We're not immune to everything, definitely, but we're so much more capable of controlling it. And when you see a person like that, it's like you have instant respect for them, in a way. Not that you're looking up to them and you're saying to yourself, oh, I want to be like that person. No, you just tend to have respect in the way that you don't feel combative. You don't feel like it's competition. Whereas when you see someone who is bold and outspoken and easily offended, or who uses curse words, they will automatically, the first thing you see is they do dress differently. They may dress more masculine, or they will dress in a provocative manner and enjoy showing off their assets, what have you. And when you cross someone's path like that, there's an energy that you immediately feel, and it's not one of peace. It's more of competition. It could be depending on how well you meshed with that person, or how much like that person you are yourself. You might feel intimidated by them, or offended, or even jealous. A lot of, again, negative emotions that arise. But when you see someone, just a nice woman, dressed modestly, she carries herself well, she smiles when she sees you, and you generally don't feel that automatic wall come up around you. As a woman, you feel more relaxed around a person like that, even if you don't think that's true. And I can use this in my own life, an example, so many examples. When I was, younger, and I was a horrible teenager, for instance, but even as a young adult, I was all of those negative things I mentioned before: bold and fiercely independent, and to the point that it was off-putting. I cussed a lot. I thought I knew it all. I didn't need anybody's help, but at the same time, I just screamed desperation at the same time. And a lot of young women, and even middle-aged women, come off like that. They pretend to be independent. They don't need a man. They don't need this. They don't need that person. And at the same time, they just scream desperate. And oftentimes they're just desperate for love. They're desperate for friendship, a real friendship. They're desperate for fellowship of some kind that they don't feel intimidated by, that doesn't make them jealous or make them afraid to be who they are, or to be embarrassed because of who they are. Like if they can't afford something, or can't afford nice clothes, or they don't have the in look. We all feel so less than we are when we're around people like that, because those people also feel the same way. They may pretend that they're confident, but that confidence really is fake, and it's just masking the insecurities they feel underneath. So the whole point to this is that when you become a Christian woman or kind woman, soft-spoken, not easily offended, just kind-hearted and generous, and not at all combative and confident in a positive way, in a true way, people are more inclined to treat you with respect. But if you are the kind of person like I used to be, all those things that I already listed off, people immediately feel in competition with you or feel negative emotions toward you. So that is just something that I have learned. I feel like when I'm walking in a store or anywhere really, and I'm wearing a dress that it's modest for the most part. I'm still trying to, change my wardrobe a little bit. I did put a pin right here because this actually came down to here. But you dress modestly, and you carry yourself a different way. You don't get angry. You don't sneer at someone or roll your eyes, even behind their backs. Because even what you do behind someone's back sets the tone for your mood that day. I did that this morning. Someone cut me off. She just zoomed over in front of me, and the old Jessica immediately kicked in, and I kind of pressed on the gas pedal really hard and got really close behind her, and I was just like gritting my teeth, and I was like, what am I doing? I had to take a step back and force myself, okay, stop. So I pulled off a little away from her, and I calmed myself. I said, what am I doing? And I just knew that if I let that get to me, that it was going to set the tone for my entire day. And that's just it. I don't want to feel those angry moments, even behind closed doors, even in secret. Because whether you're doing it to someone or in front of someone, or when no one sees you at all, it still changes the person that you are. And, we can go out into the world and put on that happy face, that kind face, and that modest dress, and we can pretend to be kind, happy, and modest. But if we're not on the inside, which is also behind closed doors and in secret, then it's going to leak out one way or another, and people are going to see it. And I don't want that. And it's not just that I don't want other people to see that side of me that I'm still trying so hard to suppress and to eliminate. It's also that I don't want to see that side of me either. I'm not that person anymore, and I will never be that person again as long as I stay in faith and live for Christ. I know that. But, the enemy, evil, knows what pushes you, knows how to push your buttons. He knows what gets to you the easiest, and that's what they will use. They will automatically, you will always, no matter what your problem, your biggest sin or your biggest failure as a human being is, it's an addiction. It's something that you just, you thrive on. There's so many things. One of them is anger. It's just my anger issues. That is what they'll use to you, and you'll struggle with that probably forever, because that's the inlet. They know how to get inside of you through those holes in the boat, and as long as you keep plugging them and keeping the water out, it's a weird analogy, I guess, but that's just what came to mind. Then you can stay afloat. You can stay above, breathing the fresh air, and continue on with your life the way you want to live, and not the way that the enemy wants you to live. So I think just temperament, not just on the outside, but on the inside, I think it's where it starts is on the inside. Because if you cannot be that kind-hearted, not easily offended person on the inside first, it's never going to fully show itself on the outside to other people. So you just like me, you just have to work on it as often as you can. But I'm so surprised that I remember looking back on people that I would see, like church people. They would just get out of church, they would all be dressed kindly. And there was that part of me, like, oh, church people. But at the same time, there was that other part of me that just kind of secretly longed to be that way, just respected and not looked down upon, but looked at as an equal, as a sister. And I feel that way now. It's really amazing. I'm still working on some things and trying to fix my personality, because the way that you carry yourself is how people are going to treat you in return. If you are a kind person, people are going to be kind to you. If you are generous, people are going to be generous to you. If you are modest and you love yourself and you love your body and you want to protect the body that God gave you, then men are going to treat you with respect and not treat you like you're just an easy target. And that is so important, especially for young women, to understand that trying to be like everybody else, trying to get the guy, trying to be the prettiest girl in school or in college, and there's so many girls out there that are in competition with you, and you end up doing things that you're going to regret later. You're disrespecting your body. There's so many women today that are just so proud of flaunting themselves and giving their bodies away to multiple men. And it really is, it's more like just trying to keep up with the trends, because that is a trend now. But deep down, I think genuinely, for the most part, most women who give their bodies away that way, who participate in a promiscuous lifestyle, I think most of them, they don't like it. Deep down, they don't like it. They don't like the way it makes them feel. And the longer you do it, the more regret you're going to start to feel, and you're eventually going to hate yourself for disrespecting your body in that way. But that's another topic for another day. You're promiscuous, people are not going to respect you because you don't even respect yourself. If you're unkind, if you are vulgar and you cuss people a lot and just don't have a very kind or respectful personality toward other people, no one's going to respect you. And a lot of young women will say, well, I don't care if someone respects me or not. But really you do. You do. And even if you don't believe that now, you will see it later. So yeah, that's all I really have to say today. And I just wanted to enjoy being out here. It's such a nice day. It's been really hot, and today it's very mild and a little wet, and I'm just enjoying it. So may God bless you, your family, and your life.